The Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens, dramatised by Barry Campbell and Constance Cox, with Freddie Jones as Mr. Pickwick, Paul Chapman as Mr. Jingle, and Simon Cadell as Charles Dickens. Part 1, The Pickwick Club.
The first ray of light which illumines the gloom and converts into dazzling brilliancy that obscurity in which the earlier history of the public career of the immortal Pickwick would appear to be involved is derived from the perusal of the following entry in the Transactions of the Pickwick Club, which the editor of these papers feels the highest pleasure in laying before you, as a proof of the careful attention, indefatigable assiduity, and nice discrimination with which his search among the multifarious documents confided to him has been conducted.
Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May the 12th, 1827, Joseph Smiggers, Esquire, a perpetual Vice President and member of the Pickwick Club, presiding. The following resolutions unanimously agreed: that this association has heard, read, with feelings of unmingled satisfaction and unqualified approval, the paper communicated by Samuel Pickwick, Esquire, entitled Speculation on the Source of the Hampstead Ponds, with some observations on the theory of tittlebats. And that this association does hereby return its warmest thanks to the said Samuel Pickwick. Furthermore, this association has taken into its serious consideration a proposal emanating from the aforesaid honourable member and 3 other Pickwickians for forming a new branch of the United Pickwickians under the title of the Corresponding Society of the Pickwick Club. I am happy to announce that the said proposal has received the sanction and approval of this association. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The Corresponding Society of the Pickwick Club is therefore hereby constituted, and Samuel Pickwick, General Chairman and member of the Pickwick Club, Tracy Topham, Esquire, Augustus Snodgrass, Esquire, and Nathaniel Winkle, Esquire, are hereby nominated and appointed members of the same, and that they be requested from time to time to forward to the Pickwick Club, London, authenticated accounts of their journeys and investigations. I should like to add that this association considers the proposal from the above-mentioned Pickwickians that they should defray their own expenses, a proposal worthy of the great minds from which it emanates.
A casual observer, adds the Secretary, to whose notes we are indebted for this account, a casual observer might possibly have remarked nothing extraordinary in the bald head and circular spectacles which were intently turned to his, the Secretary's, face during Mr. Smiggers' address. To those who knew that the gigantic brain of Pickwick was working beneath that forehead, and that the beaming eyes of Pickwick were twinkling behind those glasses, the sight was indeed an interesting one. There sat the man who had traced to their source the mighty ponds of Hampstead, and agitated the scientific world with his theory of tittlebats, calm and unmoved. And how much more interesting did the spectacle become, as that illustrious man slowly mounted the platform and addressed the club which he himself had founded.
Fellow members of the Pickwick Club, I thank you. Gentlemen, fame is dear to the heart of every man. Poetic fame is dear to the heart of my friend Snodgrass. The fame of conquest in the matter of the fair sex is equally dear to Mr. Tupman. And the desire of earning fame in the sports of the field is uppermost in the breast of our dear friend, Winkle. Good old Winkle. I will not deny that I am influenced by human passion and human feelings, possibly even by human weakness. But this I will say. If ever the fire of self-importance breaks out in my bosom, the desire to benefit the human race in preference would effectively quench it. I am a humble individual. But yet, I cannot but feel that you have selected me for a service of great honor and some danger. Travelling is in a troubled state, and the minds of our coachmen are unsettled. You have only to look around you at the terrible scenes which are part of our daily lives. Stagecoaches upsetting in all directions, horses bolting, boats overturning, and boilers bursting.
No!
Let that honourable Pickwickian who cried no so loudly come forward and deny it if he can. Who was it cried no? Some vain, some disappointed man, some jealous man, perhaps, jealous of the praise so undeservedly bestowed upon my researches.
Does the Honourable Pickwickian allude to me, sir?
With respect, Mr. Chairman, I do allude to the honourable gentleman.
Then I can only say, through the chair, that the honourable gentleman who has just spoken is a humbug.
I am quite sure, gentlemen, that upon reflection, the Honourable Mr. Blotton will withdraw the expression he made use of.
I am sure I will not. Humbug!
Then I feel it my duty as chairman to demand of Mr. Blotton whether he has used that expression which has escaped him in a common sense.
I did not, sir. And I have no hesitation in saying that I use the word in its Pickwickian sense.
Mr. Chairman, I am bound to say that I feel much gratified by the fair and candid explanation given to us by the honourable gentleman who has just spoken, and I beg leave to explain, so that it may at once be understood, that my own observations were merely intended to bear a Pickwickian construction. Thank you. One final point, Mr. Chairman. We, that is, my friends and I, have decided to commence our expedition without delay. Gentlemen, we start tomorrow.